Another fishbowl PC? Yes, we are unboxing a new case from Montech. This is the King 95. There are some key changes though that make this a little bit different from your typical fishbowl PC case that we've been seeing all too much of lately. So let's get this unboxed. We're gonna check this out. This is a King 95 Pro Edition from Montech. This is one hell of a box. Beautifully packaged review box media sample. We're gonna get this out of here and just start slicing it up, I guess. This isn't going anywhere. Oh boy, this is a lot of work. This better be good, Montech. I have a feeling it will be. We've been sent several fishbowl style cases from manufacturers trying to get in on the Lee and height hype. And this is one that I'm pretty excited to take a look at. Patented box shimmy effect. Come on, boy. Case box here. Beautiful mid-tower case. Ooh, they went with the expensive foam. And on the case box, it claims that the K95 Pro is a symphony of quality and innovation in elegance. We'll see. There you go. King 95 Pro. Can you feel that satisfaction at home? First impressions, it's a fishbowl. That's for sure. Now, one thing that you'll notice right off the bat, you have a little bit of a curved glass on this thing, which is very hard to do and can be very expensive. So that's kind of a fun feature as well. All of your ports here right on the front. Now, like on the height Y60, some of those inputs and buttons are on the bottom of the case. They put them on the side in this case. I'm noticing there is a LED bar that is hidden behind here. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited to get a full build in this so we can light that up and see what it looks like. In terms of opening up this case, super simple. Everything pops off. This side panel is held in by a thumb screw, but everything else, for the most part, simply pops right off. Now this is the Pro version of the case, so that means it comes preloaded with how many fans? 6 fans. So you can get just a regular King 95 with no fans installed if you want to. If you don't care about that, you want them ready to go, the Pro version is what you would look for there. Now this front panel looks like it's brushed aluminum, which is very cool, but it's actually a plastic. So when it comes to fingerprints, if you're a very fingerprint conscious person like I am when it comes to your setup, this is actually really nice. You're not gonna see that as much. While we're talking about the front of the case, this is something that I thought was actually very cool. This front panel here, this front panel in the front, I guess that's what a front panel is, it's in the front, is removable. And with the case, they have included a mesh front option. So this will pop right on, and this is cool, not just if you want more airflow or you just like the mesh look. I personally like the glass look a little bit better, but if you do like this, that's very easy to install. It just pops on, pops right on. But the very cool thing about this is that there's actually a hinge. So if you remove this fan first, once you have the mesh installed, and you remove this fan, you can install it after you've got it set up the way that you want. This assembly actually pulls out slightly. I'll remove this so you can kind of see. And then you'll screw it into this bottom assembly here. So you'll actually put in a screw down here. That way you can have your intake coming out of the front of this swappable mesh panel. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And then obviously as soon as you get this screwed in, good to go, set up the way you want it, you can install this fan back into the case as you normally would. Really like that. It's kind of a cool feature. I haven't seen that before. I'm sure one of the other fishbowl cases has something similar, but I'm not aware of anything to my knowledge. So that's a very cool improvement that Montech made on this particular case. Love that. So this mesh swappable panel comes in the accessories box. And as I was kind of digging through it, I noticed that they have a box for all of the various screws and accessories that come with this case. And not only a plastic box and organizer for them, but everything is precisely labeled in here. You usually don't see this on entry or even, medium cost cases. This is typically reserved for more of the high-end cases, and even some of those don't have this. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing that they put together for people looking to build their PC, is something that's clearly labeled with a bunch of great instruction on there as to what you're getting with the case. So very cool. I like that. I didn't see like a GPU holder or like an anti-sag bracket or anything, and I know that most of those higher end big beefy GPUs come with one of those, but that's definitely something you'll want to be aware of. Maybe slight drawback, but other than that, I'm seeing a lot of great little improvements in this. I'm excited to see this light bar lit up. Let's get to building in this thing. I don't know if I want to build it with the mesh panel on the front. I'm more partial to the glass, so I think we may go that direction for this. But for now, let's just get to the build, put this thing together, check it out. Let's roll the cinema, get this thing built. complete. And we have some thoughts on this case now that it is fully built. And now that it's fully built and lit up, you can see this beautiful RGB bar that I mentioned earlier. That actually looks fantastic. And in terms of temperatures, I was surprised. Now, if you'll remember, I decided to go with the glass front instead of the mesh, even though it is a very, very cool feature of this case. And I certainly recommend it if you're gonna have some toasty components in there and you're concerned about airflow. It may make sense to switch out for that front. We went with a 14700KF for the processor. It's got a 4070 Ti in here. Under a full synthetic load, processor went up to 87 degrees, 74 degrees on the GPU, so all within range. All things considered, actually look pretty good. There are some thoughts on this build that I wanted to share with you as well. When it comes to the controller for the fans on the back, this is actually very, very cool. And I didn't notice this until after we had a chance to build it. So they've added a built-in fan controller here into the case. So what that means is, rather than trying to find out where to mount various fan controllers in the back of your case, it's built right in. So all you have to do is basically two things that you're plugging in. You're plugging your RGB and your fans to the board, and that's it. Everything else is plugged in to this fan controller. So it makes it very, very easy for the routing of cables. That makes a whole lot of sense. Really, really like that. Very easy to cable manage, very simple to build in, and we were pretty impressed with it. Airflow looks good. Overall, I think they did enough improvements on their own, these slight little adjustments, to make this a case of its own. So I think Montech did a very good job with this. When it comes to the components, we use the new Cooler Master cooler here. It's been getting the Atmos cooler's been getting a lot of good reviews, kind of similar to a Deep Cool LS720 in terms of performance and things like that. Really happy with how it turned out. If you are looking for a case that, you know, kind of has that height Y60 feel, Lee feel and vibe, with the option to do some mesh on the front and have this rounded glass feature, if not, that would be a great choice. This would be an awesome choice if you're looking to do that. Good case, we liked it. We liked building it. What do you think? Is this a case that we should stock for builds at metapcs.com? Does this interest you? You have any questions about it? Let us know in the comments. But overall, good job.